Not all evidence is admitted simply because it exists. A photograph may be real, a message may be authentic, a document may matter greatly. Yet before the court considers any evidence, there is one question that must be answered. Has the proper foundation been laid? In law, evidence must do more than appear important. Evidence must first qualify to enter the record. I am Polymopicus, and this is Polymopicus Legal. Legal concepts explained for non-lawyers, by a non-lawyer for educational commentary, and is not legal advice.
Many people imagine evidence enters court the moment it is shown. An attorney holds up a document. A video is displayed. A witness mentions a message. Then the jury immediately considers it. Real courtrooms work differently. Before many forms of evidence can be admitted, the offering party must first establish a foundation. Foundation is the preliminary showing that evidence is what it claims to be, is sufficiently reliable, and meets the legal requirements for admission. Without that showing, even important evidence may stay out. Understanding foundation is essential because courts do not admit evidence based on importance alone. They admit evidence based on rules. Foundation refers to the basic evidentiary groundwork required before an item can be admitted. It often answers questions such as, what is this item? Where did it come from? Is it authentic? Is it relevant? Has it been altered? Who created it? And how was it preserved? The exact requirements depend on the type of evidence. A photograph requires one kind of foundation. A business record may require another. Expert testimony requires a different one entirely. Foundation is not one rule. It is a category of threshold requirements. Foundation exists because courts need confidence in what they are receiving. Without foundational requirements, forged documents could be admitted easily. Misidentified photos could mislead juries, altered recordings could distort facts, and unreliable records could be treated as truth. The legal system therefore asks a simple but critical question before evidence comes in. Why should we trust this item enough to let the fact finder consider it? Foundation is how that question gets answered. One of the most common foundational requirements is authentication. Authentication means producing enough evidence to support a finding that the item is what the proponent claims it is. Examples. Photograph. A witness may testify. They recognize the scene, the photo fairly and accurately depicts it. Text message. A witness may identify the phone number, the sender, the context of the conversation, or distinctive content linking it to a person. Document. A witness may explain who created it, when it was created, and how it was maintained. Authentication does not always prove ultimate truth. It establishes threshold legitimacy. Even authentic evidence must still be relevant. Relevance means the evidence tends to make a fact of consequence more or less probable. If an item has no meaningful connection to an issue in the case, it may be excluded. So, foundation often includes showing not only that the evidence is real, but that it matters. A genuine document unrelated to the dispute may still stay out. Some evidence requires proof of handling over time. This is called chain of custody. It is especially important for items that could be altered, substituted, or contaminated. Examples: drugs, biological samples, weapons, or digital storage devices. The offering party may need to show who collected the item, who stored it, who transferred it, and that it remained substantially unchanged. The goal is confidence that the item presented is the same item originally obtained. Modern cases often involve surveillance video, audio recordings, emails, text messages, social media posts, and screenshots. These items often require testimony about how the recording system works, whether the system was operating properly, who captured the content, whether the file was altered, and how the content was preserved. Because digital evidence is easy to copy and modify, courts often examine foundation carefully. Many records are admitted through a business records framework. Typical foundational questions include: was the record made at or near the time of the event? Was it made by someone with knowledge? Was it kept in a regular course of business? And was making such a record a regular practice? If those conditions are met, records may be admitted even without every individual creator appearing in court. This is one reason business records are common evidence in litigation. Expert testimony also requires foundation. Before an expert may offer opinions, the court may examine qualifications, training, experience, and methodology. Whether the opinion is based on sufficient facts or data, and whether reliable principles were applied properly. The court acts as a gatekeeper. An impressive title alone is not enough. The opinion must rest on an adequate foundation. When evidence is offered without the necessary groundwork, opposing counsel may object. Lack of foundation. That objection tells the court the preliminary requirements for admission have not yet been satisfied. Sometimes the problem can be fixed with more questions. Other times the evidence may be excluded entirely. This is why foundational questioning can seem slow or technical. It is building the legal basis for admission. Some often believed myths are, if it's real, it comes in. Not automatically. It still must satisfy applicable evidentiary rules. Foundation proves the case. No, foundation only clears the threshold for admissibility. The weight of the evidence is a separate question. Foundation is just procedural filler. No, it is a safeguard against unreliable or misidentified evidence. This distinction matters. Foundation deals with admissibility, whether the evidence may be considered at all. Once admitted, the fact finder decides weight, how persuasive the evidence is. A document may be admitted, but weak. A witness may authenticate a photo, yet the jury may find it unimportant. Getting evidence in is not the same as winning with it. Foundation reflects a central truth of the legal system. Evidence is not judged by appearance alone. Before the court relies on information, the law asks whether the path into the record is trustworthy. That is how procedure protects substance. Evidence can be powerful. A message, a photo, a recording, a record. But before any of it influences the outcome, the law demands groundwork. Foundation is that groundwork. It ensures that evidence does not enter the courtroom merely because it exists. Evidence must earn admission under the rules, and that distinction is one of the reasons courts function as legal forums rather than rumor markets.
If you like this content, then kindly hit like, subscribe, and share. Caesar commands it.